This there is a combination of chart and table. The graph shows the revenue generated by five telecom companies into different segments, namely mobile and landline services. So from the graph, we can find the revenue generated by any of the five companies in mobile as well as landline services. The sales of LOL in mobile services in the given year was 3.8 million, and that of CYA was 1.7 million. Now come to the table. Table gives the percentage breakup of the revenues generated through mobile and landline services of the five companies in corporate and non-corporate segments. There are two segments in which these five companies provide mobile as well as landline services. For example, AKY generates 70% of its mobile revenue from corporate and 30% from non-corporate, and LOL generates 70% of its landline revenue from corporate and 30% from non-corporate. So on the basis of this, we can find the revenue for each of the companies across two segments for each of the two services, which is tabulated below. And it is also given that a company X is said to dominate another company Y either in mobile market or in landline market only if company X sales are more than company Y's sales in each of the two segments C and NC individually, which means AKA can be said to dominate ROF in mobile services only if the revenue of AKY is more than that of ROFL in corporate as well as non-corporate segments. So that's the definition of domination. Now let's move to the first question of the set. It is asking how many of the given companies dominate ROFL in mobile market as well as in landline market. So let's check from the table. AKA certainly dominates ROFL in mobile services, but when it comes to landline services, it does not dominate ROFL. Now come to the LOL. LOL certainly dominates ROFL in mobile services, but when it comes to landline services, it is not the case. Similarly, we can check for the other two companies vis-a-vis ROFL, and we find that none of the given four companies dominate ROFL in mobile as well as landline services. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Consider the second question. How many companies are definitely not dominated by any other company in landline market? So check the landline market. From the table, it can be seen that ROFL is not dominated by any of the given companies, and the same is the case with CYA. So there are two companies that are not dominated by any other companies in landline services. So answer of this question is option C. Let's move to the last question of this set. It is asking what is the difference between the revenues generated by five companies in corporate segment through mobile services and that in non-corporate segment through landline services. Essentially, it is asking the difference between the numbers in this column and in this column. So the required difference is 3.01 plus 1.5 plus 3.42 plus 3.6 plus 0.85 minus 0.48 plus 2.2 plus 0.54 plus 1.12 plus 0.35, and this comes out to be 7.69, which is option C. So that's all for this set.